Welcome everyone to a Dogwood Alliance Nature's News Desk update, where we talk about trees and why keeping our forest standing is one of the most important things that we can do to solve the climate crisis. I'm your host, Adam Collette. In this series, we're going to bust several logging industry myths. Today's show focuses on the biomass industry, one of the most ridiculous so-called solutions to the climate crisis. So, what if your job was going around convincing people that a wonderful solution to climate change is to cut down billions of trees and burn them? Could you keep a straight face? I'm guessing no, because you're like most people and enjoy trees when they're, standing. But unfortunately, there is an entire industry of companies and lobbyists whose entire job it is to convince politicians that burning forests for fuel is the greatest thing since solar panels. Spoiler alert, it's not. But for many years, it's worked. In Europe, biomass represents a significant portion of the renewable energy sector. Not wind and solar, but burning trees. The United Kingdom imports over 10 million tons of wood every year to burn in power stations, which is obscene. And much of that wood comes from southern forests right here in the United States. So you might be asking yourself, how could this happen? Are we relying on the caveman tactic of burning wood for energy to solve the climate crisis? Well, we'll leave that debate for another show. But let's roll it back and quickly talk about how we got here. The origins of the biomass boom lie in the way that we count, or should I say don't count, the greenhouse gases emitted when the wood is burned. When fossil fuels are burned, the greenhouse gases emitted, like carbon dioxide, are counted immediately at the smokestack. Hashtag keep it in the ground. But carbon emissions from biomass aren't counted when the trees are burned. This is a huge mistake because science tells us that burning wood actually produces more carbon emissions than burning coal does. This is really, really bad. There are so many industry loopholes, which are ways to hide what's really happening. With these loopholes, biomass carbon emissions are hardly accounted for at all. The emissions aren't counted when the wood is burned. And then there's an assumption that trees grow back, so the emissions aren't counted when the trees are logged either. Basically, the system is set up for them to cheat and get away with it. It's like taking a multiple choice test in high school with no teacher in the room and the answers written on the walls. Oh, and also, if you get an A on the test, you're gonna make lots and lots and lots of money. What would you do? And until we start accurately counting the emissions from biomass, both when harvested and at the smokestack, we're going to continue to see ridiculous things like shipping millions of tons of wood around the world to burn it, and people calling it a climate solution. Here are some facts about biomass. Forest biomass is not carbon neutral. Its production and combustion introduce a substantial amount of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. And because you have to use a whole bunch of wood to run a power station, it can emit up to 50% more carbon than coal. Ugh! Logging, which includes logging for biomass, is the main cause of carbon emissions from US forests, more than insects, drought, fire, and wind combined. Biomass has been produced from clear-cutting over 900,000 acres in the US South just in the last decade. And leading biomass companies like Drax and Enviva Biomass receive billions of dollars every year in taxpayer subsidies that are supposed to go towards solutions to climate change. So in case you forgot to watch our last episode, which I know you watched, forests are amazing. Not only do they protect our communities from the worst impacts of climate change, are home to thousands of plants and animals, and provide us with clean air and drinking water, they also suck carbon out of the atmosphere and store it. Rather than let our forests do what they do best, some genius decided we should cut them down and burn them. We need to act quickly on climate change. We can't support dirty biomass at the expense of truly low carbon solutions like wind, solar, energy efficiency, and a much needed modernization of the electrical grid. So, how can you help? Make sure that your representatives know the true meaning of a healthy forest is a forest safe from industrial logging. A forest that supports our wildlife, cleans our water, and protects us from the worst of storms and flooding. A forest where people can hike, fish, kayak, and more. A forest left untouched is a forest fighting climate change. I'm Adam Klett for Dogwood Alliance's Nature's News Desk. Visit Dogwood Alliance to find out more information. If you like this video, please like Dogwood Alliance on social media, leave us a comment, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and remember to stand for forests because forests stand for you. We'll see y'all next time.